What's up, otakus? Yeah, just thought I'd jump on because uh, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of probably be taking a little break from live streaming for a while, and it's just because there's I just want to update you on things that are going on. So I've been kind of talking about the issues I've been having with management at work, and yeah, things came to a head last week, and basically, I was forced to resign, and yeah, so I'm kind of in the process of looking for another role, position. So it's kind of thrown everything into flux right now. Just nothing is really certain. But yeah, I've just been kind of spending the last couple of days uh, applying to jobs. My family got back from Japan on Tuesday, so not very good timing with that. But we're just dealing with it as best we can. So trying to stay positive, and again, it's a pretty competitive job market right now. So there's yeah, I'm confident I can probably find something, but the question is, how much time is it going to take away from what I want to do, my family time, and, will it be enough to support uh, just kind of what we're accustomed to? And yeah, all those questions has me kind of stressed out about, you know, what the next 2-3 months will look like. Now, fortunately, um, we're not in a situation where it's uh, kind of dire right now. It's where we've got savings, and we're just kind of we can reposition certain things to just have more liquid cash, just to get through this transition. And I'm not the only person going through this right now, so I don't feel all that bad about sharing it with you guys. But it has been tough, and that's one thing. Jens and I went up to Portland. Um, we had planned it, and we went up there, and that was kind of looming over the weekend. And so, for me, like, I had a great time with Jens and everything, but in the backdrop, I was, you know, understanding that right now comic books aren't a priority. Um, I mean, they are, but the current situation, I'm just probably gonna take a step back. I'll probably end up trying to move some books this week, kind of making it really appealing for Facebook people locally. So hopefully we can just kind of move some books, um, get some kind of cash in, just to help things out. And, anyway, yeah, I'm not going to be too caught up about it. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm in a position where, again, I resigned. I just quit work and decided, just looking for a new position was the best route forward. And I'm not going to claim any kind of support or file for unemployment or anything like that right at the moment. So again, just sort of a transitionary period. We just got to figure out what we're going to do next and take those measures to focus on what we want to do next. I have also been contemplating potentially just and the only person I've really kind of shared these thoughts with are with Jens and now you. Of course, I did propose the idea to my wife, and we're just really at the initial stages of planning what that would look like. So I'm going to kind of plan both. I figure if we are going to kind of register a business, look at potential spaces that are available near our community, in the community, potential spaces for a comic book. It wouldn't be just comic books. I'd do comics and collectibles. Kind of really focus on selling a good mix of new items, things we could resell that are just being published or launched, as well as, of course, sort of back issues and vintage items, the whole gamut of, I guess, what you would call pop culture collectibles. But yeah, I'm going to just do some research, see what the actual sort of costs and what I'd have to do on a month-to-month basis just to have enough income to not only kind of support the family, but also ensure the business is growing and doing all that. So those are things that are just kind of like also potential paths forward. I am, without revealing too much about my age, you guys know I'm a Gen Xer, so I figure I have a good 15 years of being productive, right? 15 years till retirement. So I figure, yeah, like, why not start a business? And as the business grows and as I get older, it's something we could always sell to somebody when we do retire, or maybe hire some more help to manage things more, so that I can be away from the business. And it's with all the tools and AI tools and things available in terms of helping small businesses. The tool set for small businesses is really incredible. So I just feel like some of those general expenses, or I guess I should say technological expenses, operating expenses, they can kind of be efficiently used to create channels of revenue, right? We'd want to do a physical retail store as well as an online presence, as well as like a social media presence. And all of those things will require um, costs each month. But hopefully, those are, again, costs that go toward building our presence here locally, um, and just, kind of becoming the East Side's number one place for collectibles. And I honestly feel like I have enough of passion for this kind of hobby, and obviously I'm new to running a business, but I'm good with, in terms of like, confident I can market it to the point where it really is perceived in the community as a family friendly sort of place to buy, you know, just cool things, things you want to have and display and show off. And that's kind of what this space, if I do this, will kind of be. I want it to be really um, kind of have the high end range of collectibles, and also some of the you know, rare pieces. But those are all things sort of out of my control at this point. But that's the vision for the shop. That'll be this sort of museum like place where you could just look at items, whether they're comic books, whether they're toys or whatever, but just get like a history of why this piece is significant in the history of pop culture. And so that's kind of my concept for the shop. It's not just going to be your standard, like Big Bang Theory Stewart's comic shop where you're just selling comics and doing that. It's really broader than that. It'll incorporate manga, anime, um, movies, right? Video games, hopefully, just a good mix of this and that. So that when you walk in, you're just like, you'll be able to, find something hopefully that to walk out with. But yeah, all these things take a good amount of planning and research, and yeah, ultimately just the jump to do it. So right now I'm just kind of, again, given my situation, I'm just contemplating all different kinds of options. But that seems like the one I just the most want to do, because I figure, you know, if we fail, we fail. Um, and if we fail, we'll fail. We'll have a little window of 3 months, or sorry, 3 years to establish whether we're going to do this or not. Give us that kind of timeline or window. Um, and I anticipate not every month's going to is going to be a good month. Not every month is going to be profitable, but hopefully the big picture, over time, again, when we get the shop to where it wants to be in terms of it maxing the space with inventory and things that people can purchase, hopefully that, just the sale of a couple of big items could make or break the business. So yeah, those are some things we've contemplated. And with that being said, I did, I on Tuesday yesterday, I went to go pick up my family, and I had like $3 and change on me, Um, and I thought we'd go to Ancient and dig for books, kind of take our mind off things, and uh, we picked up some books. So yeah, not the most responsible thing to do, but these are all really cool books. So um, I guess for $1.75, hopefully I get a little pass on making poor decisions. But let me just show you what we picked up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so there we go. All right. So the first thing we picked up was, now, mind you, these are all kind of raw books in the quarter bins at Jeff's Ancient Comics. And, there are a lot of, sometimes there are some key books, some books of value, but they're really not in great shape. But this one was, yeah, this is a big key. This is the kind of the first appearance or formation of the West Coast Avengers. Pretty big event back during the early 80s for Marvel. And yeah, it's established this new team with Hawkeye and Iron Man. And yeah, I was sitting in there for, again, a quarter. Now, it does have a lot of issues, but as you can see, there's not a lot of color break. And yesterday, I actually gave this a good eraser cleaning, so it's looking pretty spiffy in terms of getting the dirt and dinge off. I figure after a press, there is a little bit of a spine roll on this one, just very minor. But I figure after like a good press and everything, this is a good mid-grade quality book that we pulled out of the quarter bin. So this is something hopefully we can flip, maybe this week even. But yeah, I'd price it around like $5. So not a big book in terms of value, but something we could potentially flip. And I love this cover. This cover is really great. Cover here by Bob Hall. Got Rom, Rom right there as part of this potential new team. Very cool cover. Cyclops could have been a member, I guess, of the West Coast Avengers. That would have been a weird path to go down. But yeah, you got this little trade dress here, question marks. So pretty cool. Again, key issue. And yeah, this ended up going to volume 2 and being quite a prolific run in the 80s. So pick that one up for 25 cents. All right. This next one is really cool. And again, this is actually one we're not going to sell. This is, well, we could sell it, but kind of one we want to actually keep. So let me show you the front cover here. This is, now a while back, I pulled a spoof comic of an Adam Hughes cover called Dare Dame out of the quarter bin. And that's actually like a pretty valuable book. It's like $20. What's up, Gordon? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining. Yeah, but we picked up Wolverbroad out of the quarter bin. As you can see, it's black covered. It's got some color break there. And definitely needs a press. You can see all the sort of the little bends and things in the book. they don't break color necessarily. That one a little bit, I guess, but yeah, looks pretty good. Jim Balent cover here. This nothing says 90s like something like this. Wolverbroad. This is actually like what is this, 93 or something? Yeah. Or 92, 93. You had to have these like sexy kind of female characters coming on at the time. This was kind of at the forefront of that. Spoof comics. And what's really cool is Adam Hughes did a number of kind of cool, sexy covers for this run. And what's cool about this one is, again, it's kind of this Wolverine, female Wolverine homage that they do with different characters. The female version. On the back cover, they give you a preview of the next issue. And this is really where I got the book, because I was like, wow, the back cover is actually cooler than the front. And we have this cover of Super Babe, and it's this sort of female version of Clark Kent or Kal-El getting dressed while there's something going on outside, and she's got, I guess she's changing clothes. She took off her bra. I guess the bra's not conducive to superheroism. But yeah, great cover by Adam Hughes here. One we want to keep for now. But as you can see, yeah, the back cover, again, not a lot of issues there in terms of color break or creases or anything. So all in all, just like a fine plus book, right? And I'd say fine plus. Who knows? With the press, it might be even better. But we have Super Babe. Probably the worst name you could name it. Like Wolverbroad and Super Babe. These were not. These weren't politically correct names for characters. But again, this whole era of comics kind of reflected that in the way they portray women in these books. So, but yeah, very cool. And Hughes cover again, 25 cents. Couldn't leave that there. The next book we picked up, or the next books that we're going to show off, are two books featuring cover art by, again, one of our favorite artists here, Michael Turner. This is Fathom #2. Beautiful Michael Turner cover there. Love the color of this too. And this is, again, another book that, again, a couple spine ticks and all that, but with the press, it would just be probably a VF Plus copy there. Yeah, cool. Just a cover by, this is a perpetual dollar bin book, so this is more for my collection than it is for anything else. Just to have pieces like this by Michael Turner, pretty cool. And then we picked up another really cool Michael Turner cover. This one's, I guess, a little bit a one where we could probably get flip for some value, is this World War Hulk Marvel Spotlight cover by Michael Turner, like a Hulk Michael Turner cover. That's just pretty badass right there. It's looking really Michael Turner. He's like seriously, like, you don't know where the muscles start and end. It's like muscle upon muscle. of a cover there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this is just kind of spotlighting some of the stuff that was going on with the World War Hulk, uh, you know, event, and just kind of giving you uh, some additional features about Hulk. Pretty cool pickup there. Again, both these Michael Turner covers were a quarter each. Probably gonna keep them in the collection. All right, this next one is also a cover by. We picked up some good stuff in relation to the artists we collect. This one here is Dead Man #2, and this is Neil Adams' return to the Dead Man character after like a 20-some year hiatus. This is a late 90s book, and again, really cool book here. Pretty decent shape, I guess. It's got some spine issues there, but really, what makes this book special to me is this great back cover. Again, just something about the back covers here. We got Adam Hughes back cover. We got a Neil Adams back cover. The back covers are really popping on these two pickups here. Got this great Neil Adams back cover. That is way better than the front, the actual cover art, the back cover art. Get this full Dead Man raging on the back there, and how fantastic is that? It's one of those situations where Neil's like superimposing this image in the background and kind of trying to copy it in a larger dimension there, and having good success with that. So fantastic piece of work there by Neil Adams. That's incredible. All right, so yeah, picked up this late 90s Neil Adams Dead Man book for a quarter. And this is another book. This is just another check off the Jim Lee list here. We picked up Divine Intervention, Gen 13 Part 1. We recently picked up Divine Intervention Wildcats #1. I don't know if you remember that from my last haul. I think I got that for like $1 or $2 or something from somewhere. This one again, 25 cents. It's great Gen 13 cover. And part of the Divine Right, Divine Intervention series from the late 90s. This was kind of like as, again, Wildstorm was transitioning to DC. This was, I think, right around the sale period. So this was Jim Lee's really last work on a lot of his creations here. And yeah, again, a great kind of cover piece from '99. Jim Lee back on Gen 13 here for this Divine Intervention crossover. All right. And the last book was really the kind of the book of the haul, because I felt like this book alone, just not that we spent a lot. We spent $1.75. So really, we spent kind of what you'd normally spend on one book, and we got 7 books, so it's not a bad day. But we picked up a Savage Dragon. I don't collect Savage Dragon. In fact, I got rid of my Savage Dragon #1s. I had Volume 1 and Volume 2 #1s, but I don't think they're in my collection anymore. just because, of all the things I'm collecting, it's the last thing you want to focus on are things that are just purely um, things you're nostalgic about. But we have a nice little signature. That is Eric Larson's signature on this book. So yeah, we picked up a signature, Eric Larson signature book for 25 cents. I'll do that 10 times out of 10. So it wasn't a wasted effort from. Now, there are issues with the book because there was something apparently that was like gunk that was on the cover here. I don't know. I'm going to shine in the light. You should be able to see. Give me a second here. You see the gunk right there. It's like right there. You see it? It's kind of, I don't know if it's a sticker or what, but there's some residue and then it was just kind of rubbed on there. So it's kind of just stuck like a stain. And at a certain angle, you can really see the extent of the staining, but it is kind of unnoticeable until you look really close. But yeah, there's some staining there. And I did kind of try to wipe it off and eraser it off there, but to no avail. It just kind of made it worse in terms of staining like a larger surface area. We took it from like a small or dense stain to like a more spread out kind of residue. The size of the impact area is kind of like where I'm circling right now. That's the when you look at it at a certain angle, it definitely. Let me flip the book here and see if this. There we go. Sure, at the right angle. There we go. All right. Well, we can't really get a good. There it is. You see it there? Anyway, it's there. Trust me, it's there, and it's kind of unsightly. Um, anyway, it's there. Again, cool to have as a signed book. I love Eric Larson. He is one of my he's one of my artists that I liked during the collecting days. I've said it here many times that I like, in terms of the better Spider-Man artist, I believe Eric Larson was a better artist on ASM than Todd. He was Todd's sort of follow-up replacement, but in my opinion, his cover artwork and his interior work on the book far surpassed the contributions of. Now I know that's probably my sole opinion, and I'm probably alone in that. But Todd was kind of he could do art that brought out the cool factor to a lot of like juveniles and people are like kids. Basically, kids loved Todd McFarlane. But if you were to ask people in the industry, like, man, who would you rather work on this book, Todd or Eric? I'm sure 10 out of 10 people would say Eric has more talent, right? But yeah, that's all obviously subjective, and I don't want to take anything away from the greatness of Todd McFarlane, but I just think, when you're talking about Todd McFarlane like he's some demigod in the creative space. Not really. You gotta cut Todd down a couple notches because even though he's a fan favorite, uh, he has to be a fan favorite for a legit reason, not just cool covers, iconic covers. And boy, does he have iconic covers! But so do a lot of people. So, yeah, there you go. That's my probably the last haul you'll see from me for a bit, unless something changes here. As we figure out what our next steps are going to be. Then we just take a step back from the channel for a bit. It was a very fun and exciting summer Supergirl. Kind of ending on a we're still planning to go to LA. No changes there because we have obligations to one of our friends is getting married, and so we want to be present for her. And again, we'll have an enjoyable time down there in LA. This gives us a little bit more time to spend down there. We don't think we're leaving Thursday, getting there Friday, leaving Thursday, checking in, then Friday, Saturday, prepping for the wedding, and then Sunday, kind of meeting up with some of my friends I haven't seen in years, and then heading back probably Monday morning. We may extend it, depending on how things go, but yeah, not too worried about that. That's not gonna like break us. It's just a small weekend excursion down to Los Angeles. Fares are pretty decent down there still right now, so we'll see. We may end up just making it a short trip as well, but and in terms of our next vacation, no, I mean outside of that LA trip, we don't have anything else planned. So I think, I don't want to say Jens is more committed to the hobby. We're both pretty committed. But Jens is also, I think, he's done fantastic for himself. He's picked up a lot of good stuff. And there are a couple items there where, like, if those come back like a 9.8 or something, he'll really have potentially a big book. Moving forward, it's not there yet, but I mean, even now, it's a big book. But moving forward, that Final Fight IP, we just don't know where that is going to head, where that's going to end up. So, kind of excited to see where that goes. I've been telling him, like, once the game launches or right around the game launch, you should probably sell it. But then that's also risky because if it's the next like Street Fighter, or, like it goes to movies and all that, then it's obviously a book worth keeping longer. But yeah. So it's a Final Fight. It's like one of the convention variants. I think there's only like 300 copies in existence, but there's only a few of those 300 that were printed or published that were actually signed. So he has like a signed one of 300 kind of copies. So it's really rare. And again, it's before the official launch of Final Fight by the publisher. It was sort of an indie, creator published indie book that was being distributed and signed at conventions, and then eventually got picked up for video game IP and comic book related content, and has a lot of apparently backing to be both a video game and a comic book. So, if this again takes off or really hits with people in the community, then you can expect more, I guess, out of that. But yeah, we still probably plan to go to FenCom and sell more books in December. So, a lot of this stuff here, I'm just trying to think. We may end up selling this one, maybe. I could probably sell that one. Could probably sell that one too. But if they don't sell, I'll just keep them in my collection. This one, hopefully, we can flip for $5. I kind of want to just wait till the news hits that West Coast Avengers is coming back. Then this will just fly off the shelf. But until that news, this one will sell too. Figure we can get like $7 for it. I don't want to price it too high because of the conditional issue there, but for an Eric Larson Savage Dragon signature book, it's kind of what you want his signature on, his actual IP. And even though this isn't the #1 issue, it's pretty early on in the volume 2 run. So again, cool ad. Should be able to sell those or flip those at some point. But that is it. Thanks, Gordon, for hanging out with me, man. Again, I'm not disappearing or going anywhere. It's just right now. Oh, yeah. Secret Wars 8 is, I get why people want it, because that's one of those books that have, it'll just always be relevant, as a historical comic book. Will always be relevant. But yeah, it's not rare by any sense of the imagination. So right now, the prices that you're seeing are kind of, I just feel like, related to all the Spider-Man, Spider-Man Brand New Day, there's all this type of, will we see the symbiote or not? We didn't see the symbiote, but that just puts the symbiote, it's just pushing it back a little bit. We will eventually see something related to that. And of course, Secret Wars is coming up, so maybe it will be revealed there like it was in the comics. And I wouldn't doubt if Marvel had that intention, but yeah. I don't think it would be hard to replace. It's pretty much, to go online right now, if you're willing to pay like $300, depending on the grade, right? So depending on the grade, if you're willing to pay, let's say a 9.4 newsstand, right, that's probably going to run you close to $300-400, which is, again, a little, I don't know if it's steep, but it's not the best time to purchase it right now, with all the Secret Wars hype building up. I guess even in the next couple of months, it might not be the time to buy it. So the time to have bought that was probably 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. But it definitely has just been one of those constant key books. Two parts or one? um, I'm not hardcore, huh? Yeah. Yeah, Jens is, we have a different approach, you know. Jens is definitely more of the hardcore collector. I think you're right in that sense. Because if you're into, I guess it depends on like what your view of collecting is. But if it's like, I think most collectors value grades, value grading. Not everybody values slabbing books, but grades are definitely a big part of that. And that's the thing, Jens will not touch a book. He just will not touch a book unless it's flawless, like it's a 9.8 potential. And that's his standard for picking up books. Whereas I'll just pick up, you know, if it's, I kind of set a parameter for my likes and things I want. I know what I like and want in my collection. And, you know, it's stuff like this, you know, late 90s Jim Lee, Fairchild boobs cover right there, things like that, you know. So yeah, we're just different, but I think in terms of the true uh, collector nature, he has more, I think, a little bit more discipline than I do with regards to, again, those conditional standards. He definitely has higher standards for grading than I do. Um, and he also is willing to make the investments. So, like, you know, picking up books like this and then going the slabbing route to really kind of cement some higher value from the book. Um, and that's what I respect about him, man. His 9.8 submission and the results he got, oh, man, I just can't even imagine being that precise. And I mean, I guess it would be just difficult for me to do. Because it would just change the paradigm of how I go out and look and shop for books, you know, where you're maybe spending a little bit more on the higher grade stuff and then investing into grading like a 9.8 pre-screen, um, and being fine with like a 0 out of 25, you know, where you're just pouring money to see your stuff come back not graded. I've always been a little gun shy with regards to that process. He wasn't. Um, and man, again, seeing him get those results, it was very motivational for me to like, it's something we could potentially do. But, you know, it is a lot of work, it is a lot of investment. And I don't know if that's necessarily something we want to shift to at this point, but it definitely puts the idea in my head. What's up? I'm gonna get the late night crew joining me tonight. What's up, Mike? Long time no see. Mike's in my camp, I guess. We got the awesome one. Hey man, how you doing, man? Everybody joining me here tonight. Thanks for joining, guys. It's uh, it's nice to reconnect with some of you guys. Um, but yeah, I definitely have a. I kind of want to like. I just told Jens, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing it right. Like over time, if he gets the results he's getting, then man, sky's the limit for that flip game, man. That flip game he's gonna do, the sky's the limit. I think the only challenges for him right now, and I think he's figuring it out too, but to have a proper, like a real proper selection of books that will move. Because sometimes, you know, you see these books that are like in a 9.8, it's like 150, 200, right? But they're not significant books. But you know, the sort of that, again, the higher 9.8 collecting crowd, for those sort of rare, especially like the black cover, some of the rare, harder to get grades. Um, Again, he's going to be able to move that stuff because there's a market for it, and just has to be patient and maybe, you know, compromise on price a little bit, but it should be fine. What's up? Good night, Gordon. Have a great night. Um, so yeah, again, I just told him to keep doing what he's doing, but make sure he's also like churning, or, you know, selling and then doing more, you know, kind of like doing things parallel, like selling books and um, putting aside more for additional submissions. So no compromise. Yeah, we'll see. I definitely like where my collection is, but yeah, it's right now we're just kind of reassessing where I am with hobby. And you know, the anytime you're put in kind of like some financial constraining situation, it forces you to like really take a step back from the hobby, you know. And I know I understand how people can be put into situations where they're forced to liquidate their collection, get really any kind of value for what what they can get because money's tight. And that's kind of like I don't want to necessarily think about that right now, but it's definitely kind of where we're headed. So I have to. We'll just figure it out. Just figuring it out right now, and I'll be kind of back, you know, back doing more here on the channel. That's true. That's true. Awesome. That's a great point. Yeah, you can't take any of this stuff with you, and at some point you do have to sell it, give it away, or bequeath it to your kids. You probably see it more as a burden than a benefit. But yeah, I definitely don't want to like just pass away and leave all these books to my wife spitting. It would just probably be sold at half price books for whatever they can get. So that would not be the best way to do it. But yeah, you're right. Probably into retirement, I'm going to have to say goodbye to these books. And I have communicated to my boy, who's old enough to kind of understand what collecting is and what why these books are valuable and stuff. He's kind of understanding it now, but we'll just see. I mean, hopefully, he grows an appreciation for. This is my dad's stuff. This is just to honor his memory. I'm gonna keep most of it. Try to sell off some of the stuff that not that not that valuable, but keep some of the higher end items. And that's all you can hope for in the case that you pass before you can get rid of the collection. But yeah, I agree. There'll be a point, I think, um, where it's time to just sell it off. And yeah, I think selling it to a collector would be the best way to go. definitely not going to take it to my local LCS. And I mean, maybe some of the bigger keys, but the bulk stuff, definitely want to try to sell it to a collector who will pay a little bit more. But a lot of this stuff is really just, a lot of my collection is not that valuable. It may be valuable as like a complete set or a complete run of something, but we're nowhere close to some of that. I mean, I have maybe 3 or 4 runs I've actually completed the entire set, and that's not even including all the variants or anything. It's just like the new serial serial run of of the collection. So yeah, I gotta kind of focus and hone in on things. I want to update. I have now 400 and I believe I'm gonna say 30, 430 some Jim Lee books. So through 2017, I have sort of a checklist of all his stuff through 2017. Of course, there's a lot more as of late because Jim Lee's not slowing down. He's literally still doing comic books and covers and stuff still. I mean, it's hard to keep up with that. We'll never collect the entire. I mean, maybe we will, but we'd have to pivot and we need more space and all that. But for now, I'm not trying to force myself not to buy Jim Lee books. If they show up like a quarter bin book like this, hell yeah, we'll pick it up. It's kind of where I've maintained Jim Lee pickups outside of signed books. Signed books and like picking up cool covers that we don't have for like 25 cents to $1. So that's kind of where I am with that. This is fantastic. Yeah, this is fantastic cover. So yeah, that is that. So thanks guys for dropping in, hanging out. I will have content soon. Right now I got to focus on some other things, and just gonna take a step back. Probably be back. Well, I'll be. So let me. Right now, Metarog Roger, he's working on a book I sent him, and he just sent me an update tonight. He's making really awesome progress on a really sort of problematic book. I'm sure it's giving him all kinds of challenges, but it looks great. He gave me a progress report today, and he sounded optimistic, and we're already getting some pretty good results from his work. So very excited to see the end result. And Roger, I just want to express how much I appreciate you for doing that for me. But yeah, I'll probably be going on with Roger once I have the book in hand. So that should be soon. It should be in like a week or so. It looks like he's wrapping up work on the book. So yeah, when we get the book, we'll go on with Roger. In terms of the scheduled stuff, again, I hope to be back in a few weeks, at least probably after the 18th. Maybe longer, we'll see. But yeah, once things kind of become, yeah, thanks, awesome, man. Ciao, bless. Thanks for joining. Yeah, once we get our bearings, we'll be back. I just want to assure you of that we'll be back. I'm not done collecting. I'm not done with any of this yet. I won't go down without a fight. So we'll just we'll just hope for the best and keep on trucking. All right. Thanks, guys. I don't know when the next one will be, but I will see you in the next one. And everybody, have a great rest of your week. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. You too, buddy. See you in the next one. Peace.